Hello and welcome to another episode of MC Airsoft. I'm Mark, and today we're going to be talking about tourniquets for airsoft, specifically mock tourniquets. Don't go out there and use your actual cat tourniquet, crank things down. You're going to end up doing more damage than good. Yes, there's the immersion thing, and maybe your event has the insurance and is requiring actual, North American Rescue tourniquets or cat tourniquets or whatever the case is. But for general use, I would argue that it is not safe, because while tourniquets are relatively safe, if you crank one on and leave it for a while, it's probably going to do some damage to a healthy limb. Now, if there's an actual medical emergency, carry your tourniquets, know how to use them. They can do a lot of good, but if there's not an actual medical emergency, stay away from actual tourniquets. Now, why might you have mock tourniquets for airsoft? It's going to be fun to say. All right. Well, medical rules, right? So the group or event or field that you're playing with might allow for medic rules that are more extensive than just put your hand on someone for 5-10 seconds, whatever the case is, and they're back in the fight. If you're going to a lot of mil sims, if you're going to certain fields, they might require some kind of bandage or some kind of fake tourniquet, and that will vary what that is depending on the event and what they want to do. Obviously, the mock tourniquets, even if you have them unstaged, they're going to be a lot quicker to put on than like a 4-foot ace bandage or something like that. But the benefit is that they will stay in longer, or they will stay on longer, and things like that, right? There's benefits to it. Your game organizer might want you to do it. So these are, what we're talking about is pretty much the Milsim West style tourniquet, something of that nature. You want to have elastic on it so it doesn't actually cut off blood flow or much blood flow, because obviously anytime you wrap something around you, it's going to limit blood flow to some degree, but it shouldn't actually cut off circulation. So that involves generally Velcro, some kind of hook and loop system, some kind of elastic, and a loop of some kind to put it through, right? So obviously, if you're going to your Milsim West events or things like that, tourniquets are included with the price of admission, although you might not have access to a second one. So that out of the way, what we're going to be talking about for the most part is going to be a Milsim West tourniquet alternative, because Milsim West tourniquets are selling for, $12 or so. So having a full team's worth, or if you have a medic, then buying 10 of them can get kind of pricey, or more if you're so inclined. Another reason is you might want to go with an alternative is that the Milsim West ones, due to their price, you might not want to just hand them out to other people, right? So if someone, like at the Lion Claws event I went to recently, doesn't have their own bandage, doesn't have their own tourniquet, it's going to be, the price prohibits you wanting to just toss them a tourniquet, or put it on them, and maybe they wander off, maybe they forget about it, maybe they don't remember who gave it to them, or you don't remember who you gave yours to. So, throwing away $12, not a really big deal, especially if it's a squad mate, someone you actually went to the event with. But if you hand out 4 of them throughout the course of an event, that can rival the price of the ticket for the event itself. So that's something to consider with these. Now, these are not specifically Milsim West. These are Trilancer. And again, these are an alternative. So if you're going to a Milsim West event and they want you to use a Milsim West tourniquet, use a Milsim West tourniquet. If you're going to an event that wants you to use ace bandages, use those. If you're going to an event that that is not Milsim West, that wants you to use Milsim West tourniquets, use those. But these are an alternative. The link for them is going to be down in the description below. Specifically, this is the 2-inch version. There are other options available. I like the 2-inch ones because they are going to fit better into pouches, because there's more material. You can scrunch it up, put it in a pistol mag pouch, something of that nature, and it's going to stay put. Whereas if you get something smaller, it might bounce out or something like that. Another benefit to these is they have some kind of rubber or silicone or something on them that will help keep them in place. That side goes against your clothing, your skin, or whatever, and it'll help them keep them from sliding around, so you don't need to tighten them down as much. I don't have a Milsim West tourniquet on hand to compare it to, but as far as I've been able to find online, they don't have that same texture. So that, to me, one, is a practicality benefit, right? So it's not going to be slipping and sliding all over the place while you're running a gun and you're doing your thing. But also it's a safety thing, because you don't need to really crank it down in order to get it to stay in place. You can go looser, which cuts off less circulation, because it has that, again, that rubberized texture on there. So that's a benefit. The main benefit, however, to these is the cost, right? So again, link in the description. These were $1.50 at time of filming each. They came in a pack of, I believe, 8. I don't know, I haven't opened it. I haven't taken them all out of the pack yet. This is what the box looks like. I don't think it actually shows the box on the Amazon listing, but yeah. So a little bit of information. It is supposedly, again, I haven't tested these out very much other than just wearing them to make sure that they don't restrict circulation. They are supposedly weatherproof, multi-purpose. Obviously, you can do weird stuff with them, like airsoft tourniquets. And 2-year warranty protection. I don't know how well that's going to hold up. It does have the email on the back at Trilancer. But, you know, I haven't had them long enough to really say whether or not that's a usable, viable thing, right? Obviously, if you're dealing with an American company, you're more likely to get a warranty, but they're $1.50. If they stretch out too much, where the elastic is no longer working, if they rip in half or something like that, you throw them away, you grab another one, and you keep going. You know, you can buy for, you know, $115, you can buy 10 boxes, so 80, I believe. And you're good. You're good for the foreseeable future. If you are a medic for your squad, or a team's designated medic or faction's designated medic, you can go out, and if your event allows them, you can go out and buy, 50 plus of them, and you have bandages for everyone. And then you just tell people, hey, keep a hold of it. If I have to medic you again in a later game or after a respawn or something, just let me know you have it so I'm not using another one, right? But yeah, $1.50 for these, great option. I've been wearing them throughout the video. You can see one here. I also have one on my thigh. So yes, they do fit over your thigh. If you have bigger thighs, maybe not. If you're a bigger person, you might have some issues. If you got big old biceps, you might have some issues, put it around a forearm or something like that. I put it on the top of the bicep, ahead of the, or on top, higher than the bicep muscle, specifically because that's where I've always been taught to put real tourniquets, but also kind of like a worst case scenario for cutting off blood flow. The other one is right in the pocket of the thigh. It's under my blouse right now, so you can't really see it, but I put that up there again as a worst case scenario. What I will say is I might have tightened down the one on the thigh a little bit too much. It's not cutting off blood circulation, but it does feel a little weird. It's going to be best off to obviously put it around a forearm, put it on something like that. That's going to be your best bet. But, you know, again, that worst case scenario. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you what's going to cause damage with blood flow and all of that. If you're worried about stuff like that, go talk to a doctor. Otherwise, you know, just be careful with them, because obviously they are going to cut off some kind of circulation. Now, how do you apply them? If it's unstaged, right? Because obviously you can pre-stage if you're allowed to. You want to make sure that the rubber side goes on the inside, so the loop side Velcro is on the outside. And you can, like I said, pre-stage them, so that way if you can self-revive, or if you can just pre-stage them for anyone else's use, you can put it on, then take that hook, pull it, tighten it down, ready to go, back in the fight, whatever. Okay, so if you're allowed to self-medic, or if you are not allowed to self-medic but also not allowed to pre-stage, the way you're going to apply it is, again, hook in. You can wrap it around if you're doing this one-handed, if you're allowed to self-revive, or if you're not allowed to, you can do it whatever. I like to have the tab facing down, so that way you can pull, make sure it's nice and tight, let it back a little bit loose, and then go about your business. You can wear it down in the pocket of the elbow, whatever's working for you. Obviously, if you're wearing like arm pads or something like that, those might get in the way. But yeah, obviously don't put them around the neck or something stupid like that. But they are really easy to apply on your own if you need to do that. I have pretty small wrists. I can wrap it all the way down, and it just about can tighten. Let's see. So something like that, right? So yeah, they're pretty solid, especially for the price, or maybe not solid is the right word. They're a pretty good deal for the price. And like I said, if you are a team medic, you can have a ton of them and not have to worry about actually getting them back, or you can just have a ton of them and expect to get them back. That's up to you. If you so those are some things to consider. Found this after the Lion Claws event, because I was looking for tourniquet alternatives, because during that I did use my actual cat tourniquet because I didn't have a bandage on hand. So that's something to consider. And like I said, I've been wearing, so we're going on 14 minutes. I put them on well before the video. Here's another one, no circulation issues. It's like wearing a rubber band. The other one on my leg, just show that I was actually wearing it. One right there. No issues there. So you can take them, shove them in pistol mag pouches, just have a bag full of them, whatever you need to do. And they are pretty good, especially for the price. So that's about all I wanted to say on that. So until next time, stay safe and stay hydrated.